CB, thank you so much and joining us live this morning to further discuss this breaking news alert. National security expert with the University of New Haven, Ken Gray. Ken, good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning, Janae. Glad to be with you again.
So this morning, I know we first spoke as this breaking news was unfolding this morning, about 2 days later from that tragic, chaotic day out in Pennsylvania. Still a lot of unanswered questions, specifically as it relates to the shooter and that motive.
Yeah. So it takes time to put together the picture of who the shooter was. So far, the FBI has released a little bit of information about their progress. We know the shooter's name, Thomas Matthew Crooks. He's a 20-year-old male white. He was working as a dietary aide at a nursing home at Bethel Park, Pennsylvania. He has no known associates that are involved with this, no known conspirators that were working with him. He's believed to have been acting alone. Looking at him, one of the hopes was to dig into his social media to give an idea of what his motivation was. So far to date, very little activity on his part on social media, except for Discord, which is a game server. We have not seen the results of that so far. So it's kind of impenetrable as far as who this person was, why he did this, for his motivation for conducting this attack. He's really a puzzle at this point.
I think that's a great way to put it, Ken, a puzzle indeed. You know, as all of this happens, a lot will be uncovered, you know, with the media digging deep, also those authorities digging deep, learning how did he obtain the weapon. We even heard from someone he went to school with yesterday who was saying that he wasn't even a good shot with ROTC. So they were confused how he even obtained a weapon to potentially carry this out. Also taking a look, though, at the Secret Service. That is another big point about this investigation. Some are saying they're pleased with how the Secret Service responded. Others saying they were very reactive and did not do everything they should have done to protect former President Trump.
Yeah. As to the weapon, his father purchased the weapons and it was legally purchased. So that part has been run down. As far as the performance of the Secret Service, that is another focus of this investigation by the FBI, is to see how they performed in their duties of securing this event. You can consider this as a three-tiered approach. That is the inner security, which the Secret Service was the one in control of, where all the rally attendees had to go through metal detectors to get inside, and that area was secured. Then there was a middle perimeter, the immediate area outside the rally area, and then there's an outer perimeter, a distance, buildings and trees and such. The middle perimeter is where the problem is because that's where there was a building within 150 yards of the rally that the shooter got up on top of and was able to get off a clear shot at former President Trump. And it's my understanding that that area was supposed to, security for that area was supposed to be undertaken by Secret Service working with the local and state police. Some of the people on the outside of the facility brought law enforcement's attention to the fact that the gunman had climbed up on top of a building. They saw him up on top of the building. According to the sheriff for that county, one of his municipal officers was lifted up to look on top of the building. He grabbed hold of the edge of the building and looked over the top. He saw Crooks on top of the building. Crooks turned towards him with his weapon, and the municipal officer who was holding on by his fingertips let go. He was not able to pull his gun out because he was holding by his fingertips. He let go and dropped down, and as soon as he dropped down, Crooks started firing at President Trump.
Just as you explained that, Ken, I'm sure people are getting a vivid picture in their mind of the events that led up to this. But the concern is, and I know, you know, with your expertise, you know, drones are used when we have people of this magnitude having an event, especially the former president. I look back a few years ago to when former President Barack Obama was in my hometown of Memphis, Tennessee. And I can tell you, when he was downtown, there was not a building, there was not a skyscraper that didn't have an official on top with a sniper. I mean, you would look up in the sky and see a person on top of this building, a person on top of this building, even miles away, people on top of buildings. And people are wondering why the same was not given for former President Trump.
Yeah, that is the big question, is whether or not Secret Service had sufficient manpower to perform correctly in this event. Apparently, there had been requests for additional personnel and that these had been turned down. And because former President Trump had not yet become the designee for the Republican National Conference starting today, consequently, there were less Secret Service presence here than maybe should have been. And so there were not that resources of putting people on top of those buildings. They were relying upon patrols to be able to keep people off the buildings. And unfortunately, that provided a security gap that Crooks took advantage of. Whether that was just sheer dumb luck on his part, or if that was something else, we don't know. That's the purpose of the investigation.
Ken Gray, I always appreciate you joining me bright and early for these breaking news alerts here on Live Now from Fox. Is there anything else you'd like to add? Anything myself and the viewers need to be keeping a close eye on? Again, we are all on the edge of our seats as more information comes out pretty much on an hourly basis.
Yes, the RNC starts today, so the focus will be shifting towards security at the RNC. That is designated a National Special Security Event, NSSE. Secret Service and Department of Homeland Security, Secret Service is under the Department of Homeland Security. Secret Service is designated as the lead federal agency to handle the security of that event. But this is something they've been planning for 18 months. And so they assure everyone that their plan is solid and that it should go on without a hitch.
Ken Gray, thank you so much again for joining us this morning on Live Now from Fox. You enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you.